Hello, here's some information to my research about the case of Duncan MacPherson. When you look for him, you find, for example, this video.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video.
In minute 3, you get, around minute 3, you get some information about Duncan himself. I never found this somewhere.
From the farm teams, but he never actually got his chance to play on the Islanders. Unfortunately, like a lot of hockey players, he was injured a lot during the season. He actually blew out both knees and tore a rotator cuff, among other injuries, and eventually he was traded to a team in Indianapolis, but then he was cut.
The last few years have been kind of frustrating. I keep getting injured, and you know, my first year was my knee, my last year was my eye, this year was my ankle. Just all these little freak things keep popping up, and it's tough to really get going and show somebody you can play when you're always hurt.
So he was in a tough...
Okay, so this I do research quite a while, but I never heard him. I never found a video of himself. So this is here, and okay. She also have some forensic stuff. Okay. So in this video there are some informations, and also, but the main, her main informations she got from the book from John Leake. This is John Leake. Here is his channel, and there was in Austria in television, for example, this about his
und ungeklärte Todesfälle
research.
in Österreich sind das Fachgebiet von John Leake.
Im Sommer 1989 beschließt der junge Profi-Eishockeyspieler Duncan MacPherson am Stubaier.
Und dann keine Obduktion.
So,
bei den Snowboarder töten.
Okay.
Das ist die einzige Erklärung.
Der Verdacht auf fahrlässige Tötung kann
in German language. And there is, so now I'm going to my page. This is here, Logik-TV.com, and I also have this case, Duncan MacPherson, and here I start with this video.
Duncan MacPherson was a pro hockey player, a first-round draft pick of the New York Islanders. In the summer of 1989, while touring Europe, he vanished without a trace.
Here are basic informations. Then I come to my stuff.
His parents covered thousands of miles, driving all over the Alps, searching.
We can just find the car to start with, then he'll be close by.
Finally, they found his car at the gondola station of the Stubai Glacier, a popular ski resort near Innsbruck, Austria. It had sat in the lot for 6 weeks without being reported. What happened to Duncan MacPherson? Had he, as the local police suggested, wandered off the beaten track and died in a remote area? Or had he, as certain signs indicated, been the victim of something sinister?
Remember this machine. Moment. Remember this machine. How to call it? Groomer or so. Don't know the exact name in English. But this is, yeah, let's look to this machine. Behind this machine, this has this
of something sinister.
Okay, I explain it later. This machine is important.
Just vanish from the face of the earth, be seen at 2:30 in the afternoon, the place closes at 4, and there is just vanished. Somebody knew.
If it was your child, how long and how hard would you have looked for him?
So important to us to find out what happened to Duncan, and we'll pursue it with everything we have.
for as long as we have till we just feel totally satisfied that we can't do anything more.
We always felt the answers were there.
Cold a Long Time, an Alpine Mystery, is a story of tremendous love,
I just wanted to say goodbye.
perseverance, and the irrepressible desire to know the truth in the face of a twisted cover-up.
For us, the case is closed, and his name was deleted from the system, of course, now.
But the injuries itself I could not examine exactly. We never did an autopsy.
Why not? What hindered you? Remember, he's the guy who went to medical school and has the training to see on a body whether there's possible indications of culpability. What on earth are they concealing? Like, what the hell happened to this guy?
Okay, so this is some basic information. Then I came in contact with John Leake, and I saw the problem of his research. He was right in the main thinking. It was a cover-up. The damage was done by this machine. But how was it done? So John Leake and his experts were always thinking to this part that is behind the machine, you know, this, I think Tiller is the name, Pistenfräse. You see this kind of this kind of tool. This is rotating very fast, and then it is preparing the snow. And all the people, as John Leake and the experts. He asked here, John Leake said, this is now German, I translated it, but in English it was, Klaus is the real deal. For my second book I talked to about 50 doctor, professor and so on, and no one saw what Klaus saw. And this he wrote to a guy, a friend of him, and so he confirmed that my research was right. I found something that no one or that he did not find and his experts did not find, because they all thought to this part of the machine, that this part of the machine did the damage to John Leake, to Duncan MacPherson, and this is wrong. It was not this part. I did garden work, you know, and so I have something to do, not exactly with this kind of machine, but I know how a machine would damage a body, you can say, and it's totally clear that this part of the machine cannot do this damage, because the damage to Duncan MacPherson was done in a way that it cuts, for example, a hand away, and this, or a foot, and this never is done to this. This is fast rotating. When you go with a hand to it, it does not make two pieces. Here your hand and there your arm. No, this machine would make chips out of your hand. You know, little pieces, mud. A bloody mess would it make, but not two pieces. So this is not so perfect, you know. 50 experts come to this logical point. This kind of machine cannot make two parts. Impossible. It can make 1,000 parts, little parts, but not cutting something in two parts. Impossible. So this was the first main idea. You know, all the other things followed. Okay. So thinking to this part of the machine was totally wrong. And if you go to the court and you want to make arguments how this happened, when you start talking about this, all is shit. You know, you can forget the whole case. So how was it in reality? So I want to be fair. You know, John Leake had right. This was a cover-up. The machine did it. And later, they took the parts of the body and put it in a hole from snow, and so this is all right. But it was useless because the exact way how the machine did it was so wrong that it was absolutely useless. You know, on one part John did good, and on the other part, it was catastrophe. But not, you know, John asked 50 experts. So what shall he do? He is not an expert himself, but I understood it, how this happens. So here is this, you know, here when you click here, you get this is online, but this is in this browser. Ah, yeah, okay, here I could make it. Okay, first I did not see. Okay, so I can use this. I also downloaded it as PDF, but now I can use it maybe. So here I did 19 pages to explain exactly what part of the machine did the damage. So I jump a little bit around. We first saw this, you know, this new modern machines. Yeah, you know how they look today, but this was the machine in this time. This picture, I maybe it's from Linda MacPherson, because. When I knew John Leake, I also got in contact with the family of Duncan MacPherson. So somewhere I got this picture. This is one of these original machines. So to make it to come short to the point, John Leake's amputation came not by this thing that is behind this tiller, but in the chains. So in this area he got amputated, and here I have made a little bit picture how this is functioning, and I also did a video to show this. Ah, yeah, okay. So you don't get shocked. You know, this is the body of Duncan, but you will not look in his eyes. You don't get shocked. You see the body and the bone and the meat, but you don't see his eyes. Okay, so this is a picture from John Leake. This is a look down to this, also this kind of tiller, or how to call it. And this was from his research. This tiller did a marking his credit card. This was right. John Leake was right. This on his credit card and on his snowboard, there are marks from this tiller. This is right, but the amputation was done the other way. This shows how these parts, you know, are separated, and now I show in a video how this with my own excavator. I showed it, you see, here. I have a piece of the pig, you know, the pig food, and I put it here, and you see it's here. It is also a little bit. I already tried once and two, and now, but now I show it, you know. So it is going through. So. But it is, you know, it is cutting the it is cutting the bone, but it is not cutting the last piece of meat, you know, of skin. This is not so exactly separating. You need a knife. And first I thought, oh, this is not so perfect. I thought it would be better if it would be cut it in once, and therefore I tried not to have too much effort. So I first tried it and then showed it on the video. But later I saw what I'm discovering was much better. It does not need cut it in once, and I explain you why. You see, the bone is cut, but some pieces of skin I have to cut with the knife. So at first I thought, oh, this is not so perfect, but it is very perfect. This is very perfect. This fits very good to the real situation. So okay, here I explain how it is. The bone is cut very easy. The upper part is also cut good, but on the downside you need a little bit of knife, and this is important. So okay, this is this video.
Und das Fleisch von oben wird
okay, this is so, and this is was a very important finding, because also on Duncan MacPherson a knife was used, and so this is a difference, you know, if you use a knife in the on the body, and then. Here you see, this is the same kind. This meat here. Never this rotating tiller would make this. It cannot cut in two pieces. It cuts in 1,000 chips in mud, but not in two pieces. This was the mistake from John and his experts. And so. Here it is very similar. This is so similar, you know. These pieces of this stuff of skin. This is exactly the same problem what I have here. And here in this picture you see not the knife, but you see it. I show you where you see that a knife was used, and this is very clear that a knife was used. Moment, I have to find it. So this piece here, this line, you cannot do it with a machine. Here, here you see the knife was used. So on one side, you know, you have this stuff, but also how to explain. The other side here, what is missing here, it was here cut with the knife, and this skin is belonging, you know, to the other part, and the sharp cut is here. So you see, this is done with a knife. The body Duncan MacPherson was a knife was used on him. I don't say he was killed with a knife, no, but it is not. He must not be really dead. So he was in a terrible situation, but it is not clear. You know, when his head would be cut off, he would be dead. It would be clear. But in the case of Duncan, his head was missing later. But this did not happen in the accident. In his accident, his hand was cut and his leg was cut. This is a big injury, and of course he could not live long. But it is not clear if the helicopter would be called immediately, and even if he would be unconscious and so, but it is not clear to say he was dead when he was cut out the machine. No, he could have lived. We don't know it, but it is not clear that he would have died. Okay, so now we go back to this. There are some details I am not explaining now in the first moment. But something I have to think how I start. Okay, I start here. This belongs together. This is his shoe. This is his left one. Okay, and this is his inside stuff. And this shoe was not cut, but this inside stuff. So how can this happen? This means his shoe was off in the moment he came to the machine. So now I have to think, how did Duncan came to this machine? How does this without a shoe? He could not lost his shoe in this moment. This is not. He had no shoe in the moment of the accident. So all fits together. When Duncan had a first accident himself when riding on his snowboard, and this was the reason of the delay. He was one of the last, but then on his last ride down the hill, he had the accident himself. He had some problem with his foot, and so he was one of the last on this piste, on this ski area. It was time to leave, but then he on his last ride down he had this accident. So he was on the last one, and no one could help him. So what to do? He took out his shoe, because he had pain. He had pain at his feet. He examined his foot. Okay, he cannot walk. He cannot stand on his snowboard. But what can he do? He can sit on his snowboard. So he was sitting on his snowboard and going down the hill to the gondola station, and so it was a possibility to do this. He would not have died. He can sit on his snowboard and go down like this. So, but it was fog, you know, and so he was coming down the hill, sitting on his snowboard, having his shoe in his hand or somehow, and he could not. He could not very good, you know, find his direction. He is sitting on these things. He can go down, but he cannot very good find his direction. So now, in a foggy situation, this machine came up the hill, and Duncan came down the hill, sitting on his snowboard. And then, like I show it here, in the last moment, this guy maybe saw him, he turned a little bit to the side, but Duncan was going with his leg as in forward, you know, and you're sitting, you have your leg in front of you, and he was going directly into this stuff here, into this place of the machine. So, and this is his leg, you know. He came into here, and then when this turning, exactly you saw it with my excavator. It's the same principle. He's the same what I showed later in the video, you know. Yeah, you can remember it. What I showed here, how this was cutting this pig's feet, the same way Duncan's feet was cut. So, and this was the first main, you know, this was showing the way how this case is going. First, it was not this tiller machine, this little son, but it was the chains, and then he was coming with the feet in front into this place. So, and now I proved why this happened like this. And I have to go a little bit things where I show it. Yeah, okay, I go back here. Okay, also you see the name of this stuff is called Spurbügel. They are this I bought this is the original part from this machine. I did research what machine was working. I went to the firm who is producing it, and this is the original part. You see this aluminium metal stuff here that gets screwed through it, and this is yeah, here you see it like this. Duncan was it was going in his feet, you know, and you see this stuff is like it's done here, and here you see on the skin. This is my forensic deed. I found these marks on his body, and I said, "What are these marks? These marks, they are special." And in the end, it came out this part of the machine did these marks, and this is like the smoking gun, what always is searched in these cases. This is the proof. And not only things, it is you see I did here. This is the ear of a pig, and I use this, and this is a piece of meat. I also used this and tried it, and you see it is 5 centimeters. This from here to here, the damage is 5 centimeters, and this is the same like here. I checked it, you know. I got this bigger picture, and you have how big is this bone of a body, and so you can check. You get the measure from one place to the other, and so this is I've got 3 marks. One here. You see this later better. The best one is here. And another one you have here, and this marks from, you know, this is all is fitting the distance from one to the other, and you see it. You see that the one has the distance from here to here to here. This distance is fitting exactly, and the distance from here, the place where it's cut to this line, this is all the distances are fitting, you know, and all what you see here, how this is how this is cut off. This is exactly fitting when to what is happening when you get with your feet inside here. And so this is a forensic proof. There is a case in the US where a little girl was killed by a car, and the car drove. Oh no, she was not killed. She was made. She lost her things. Also, she is living, but she is ill, and the car made marks on the skin of the tire. The tire made marks on the skin of the child, and from the marks of the skin on the skin of the child, the forensic expert, the tire expert, could prove what car did this, and they later find this guy who did this. So this is excellent forensic work, but my work is here also not bad. So okay, this is how I proved it, and you see this is very, very good, fitting to what I found, and you must think this body was 20 years or 30 years in the snow, so this is a little bit, you know, it can differ a little bit, but it is very, very good fitting. Okay, so I documented my research, you know, the measurements, and also here the measurements, how this all fits together, and this is perfectly fitting. So this was happening to Duncan MacPherson, and he first went in with his feet in front, you know, but he also cut his hand. So he, you know, this machine was driving. This is rotating, and so he went in and tried to get out. And in this moment, his both hands, he also get in this place, and all was cut, and he was turned around. His body was tossed around, you know, but then somehow he managed to get, you know, he comes, maybe he first get here or here, I don't know, but this is turning, this is turning him in, then it is turning him around, and somewhere later, then on the way back, it threw him out somehow. Okay, this is in German language explained here. Okay, this is these tendons, you know, you see. This is to see these tendons. This is not, you know, they are torn out. This is not when you make something check with a knife or no, with an axe or something, the tomahawk, how to call it. This is then it is cutting sharp, but this was not a sharp cut. And only then you get these tendons torn out. Okay. So, and the other stuff, I agree with John Leake. He found out also that on the snowboard and on the credit card, this part of the machine made it. So this means in the end, after John went through this part of the machine and he was amputated, additionally he came into this part, and here I must say this expert from Elisevdalis did a good job. He did not. This expert did not understand the case totally, but one thing he explained good.
Sitting on the snow, and
this guy explaining how the person can get in the things, but this guy did not understand how Duncan was first amputated in this area, but this I am explaining. But in the moment Duncan was thrown out of this area again, then now this guy is explaining the rest.
And the tracks never touch him. But
now,
if
look,
the machine at that very moment decides to turn left, then the tiller will actually swing out and away from the machine.
Yes.
And you can see how he can.
That's exactly. That's exactly. In this way, then Duncan and his snowboard, they came additionally in this part of the machine, and so first his bones were crushed, but they were not 100% amputated, you know, like I shown you. There's part of skin that is left, and so and this terrible situation, he additionally came in this part of the machine, and in this part of the machine it was very terrible. So this is not an easy situation for this driver also, you know. But he shall call the ambulance. Okay, he can be shocked, but he shall call the ambulance and not take the body parts and throw it in a hole. But when these broken bones and stuff, you know, when they came in this part of the machine, it could you know, it could get stuck. This is all is going around this part. So this guy from the machine, he came out and saw a terrible mess. And maybe Duncan was screaming, maybe he was unconscious, I don't know. But what he did, this guy, he took him out of this. You know, he had got problem to get him out. The clothes and all, and the skin and all is half cut but not cut through. And so he took his knife and cut the body of Duncan MacPherson out of these things, and then thrown it. The rest, John Leake explains it right. He took all together and thrown it in a glacier part there, and there he was found. So John had the right idea. It was this machine. It was cover up, and so and so and so. But to make a process, you need my explanation. How this forensic exactly worked. You know. You cannot come and talk shit to the judge with this tiller that cannot cut something in two pieces. These two parts are needed, you know, and so okay, this I explained here. And this is forensic. With what I did here, you can in a normal, not in Austria. In Austria, it's different. But to a normal judge in a normal court, you can go, and this is the basis of a forensic proof. You can use this, you know. And so, okay, I gave credit to John Leake for what he did good, but I'm angry on him because he did not help enough to get this to the public. No one is knowing it today. To me, they did not listen. He had the contact, you know, he came in the television. But he got so a little star, John, and now I came. He called me a genius. Other professor, I have different things who called me a genius, but he saw, okay, he has much more better reputation, you know, in the media and so. And I'm a guy, I'm not so good talking, you know, and so, and I think he did not. I'm not. Okay, I called him an asshole. And then he was angry. But I was not. It was not. It was not okay how he managed this stuff. He wanted to, you know, indefinitely. Wait and wait. I said, okay, I found a sensation. All you say it's a sensation. The family of MacPherson say, now we know you're right. Oh, thank you. You showed us how it happened. You're right. We agree totally. All was okay between us three parts. But I said, okay, now I found it. Now I wait a few weeks, okay, and so, but now we have to go to the public, and they wanted and one day I called him an asshole, and so now this is two years ago, and this case is still not in the public, you know. I have all the proof, but it is not. It only needs the media to explain it to the people, and this is what was missing, you know. For the whole years was missing. Now I found the real explanation how it happened, but it is not. No one knows it. I tried myself go to the media, but they did not listen to me. This is but when we are in cases what they did not listen to me. This is in German language, but there are many cases where I got sensations, and I was right, and the whole police was wrong for many years, and so this is not the only case. And I have good testimony about my work, calling me a genius, but also this guy. After a while, I called an asshole, and now he's not my friend again. It's difficult. It's difficult for me. I found this was another case. You know, I was here. This professor said I was right. He proved me right. This is a very difficult case. I make it short. It is about. I found out that there are this. I make it short. These are different pages of not only different pages, but different totally different parts of this file, of this criminal case, and in totally different parts it showed photos of a knife, and they want to tell us this is all the same knife, but in different positions, photographed first in the garden, later here in the in the room of the police. They photographed it again, and so on. But it shall all be the same knife. But no, I saw this was not the same knife, and then I positioned the knives in a way that you can compare them, and you see it yourself with your own eyes that it's not the same. But all people say, yeah, but you took the knife with Photoshop in a way that you are not allowed to, and blah 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 blah. But here is a mathematics professor, his name, I only for the internet. I don't want his name too much in the internet. You know, he helped me, and he is open to tell it to the media when they ask him. But when what I'm doing in the internet, I want to be a little bit careful. His name, but okay, it's not the things. I can tell him his name. It's Professor Dr. Engineer Ulrich Prim, and he is from Regensburg in Germany, and he is not only professor, but the chief of the professors of the university, you know. And he proved that what I did, he is a mathematic expert, and he showed with cosinus, sinus and stuff, and so that what I did was not damaging the truth, you know. I positioned it in a way that you can compare the knives, but I did not manipulate it in a way that you cannot use my findings. So he proved that I was right. But before this professor came, all the other guys, John Leake, also in this case, and this other professor who helped me, they were so stupid in my eyes, you know. I knew it, I was right, but these guys, they seemed not to understand it, and I thought you are idiots, and so in the end, it was not perfect between us. But I'm fair to them, and they have to be fair to me. What they said, and they said that I am a genius. They said it before, and I asked them, okay, you can, what you said, you have said. You can now change, when you want to change your mind, you can say, okay, I said it before, but now, today, I don't think so. But no, they did not change their mind. So I said, okay, I can publish it. So this was these guys, and so I have very good testimony, you know. I'm not an idiot, but I have problem with the media. The media are not my friends. They are often too stupid. For example, in this case of the Spanish, in Spain, 3 persons drowned and then they were speculating about pool drain accidents and pool electric accidents. And pool electric accidents, only I said. No one except me talked about pool electric accidents. But this is so a big mistake, and you can read my article here, and I show how stupid the whole media of the world until today are. There was a guy now asking me friendly something. It's not totally all, but the most of them, you know. And so, like in the case of Duncan MacPherson, the whole world, 50 experts from everywhere, John Leake asked, and they did not understand that this tiller is not cutting in 2 parts. You know, this was my main logic finding, and I am right against all. You know, with a simple, basic right thought, and here and then in the other case it was with his knife. I also had simple, basic, right thoughts, and I was totally alone, and the whole world is not understanding. And this is, but I'm right. And this is the same here in this case. The whole world talked about everything, but not about electric. But when you check it out, where is a case where more than one person was killed by a technical reason in a pool, and it was not electric? When it is more than one person, then it is normally electric, you know. So maybe there can be a reason, so in special cases, but directly you must think one when it's more than one person killed, then it is 95% electric in a pool. So, but to this 95%, no one talked with except me. So he has I did an example in Turkey, a pool accident. And so there is this girl was sucked in with his arm. Okay, when you only one person look, but here I say Turkey pool accident, 5 dead. Then it was electrocuted. You know, for example, this pool drain. Here's a pool drain where the little boy is going down the water, and he got sucked to the pool drain. You see the marks of this pool drain on his body. You know, he got sucked and he could not get up. So, but this only one person at a time can happen. If you have suddenly 3 dead bodies, this cannot come from the pool drain. Okay, so I don't want to go too deep in this. So this was the case Duncan MacPherson. The Duncan MacPherson is the case Duncan MacPherson is solved by me, and also John Leake has his what he did is also good, yes. But now it is solved. Now it can go to court. There was a knife used on the body of Duncan MacPherson, and this, therefore, you know, you cannot say, oh, it was just an accident. No, there must be a murder process when a knife is used on the body. In the end, okay, I don't think he is a murderer, this guy, but he did it wrong, very wrong, and it is correct to make this process. And when in the end it comes out, okay, he was not intentionally murdering him, but when you can show there was a knife used, you get this process, and this process is what is needed, that the truth can come out. And this is a multi-million firm, you know. Can Stubai moment, I make until I find it. I make a little break. Okay, so this is this ski resort. This is a multi-million firm, you know, very big firm, very rich today, and they are responsible for this family of Duncan MacPherson. They must settle this in a good way, and this must the truth must come out, and the possibility to bring the truth out and to make a little pressure is big pressure is a knife that was used on the body of Duncan MacPherson. And this can be shown in this forensic things way here. So here, this is this millionaire family. This is the last. This is the new multi-million stuff, you know. They made all new, and now they show sentimental how they come to this stage, you know, from the past. This is now the last ride of this gondola, the old gondola, and then comes the new gondola. The building of this stuff. But, you know, they do it sentimental and so, but when you have to have Duncan in the picture, you know, and his family, and all must have a sentimental good feeling. This was the gondola. Duncan was going up with this gondola. He was also going up with the old. Now they make a feast, you know. Now look. Here you see how these Austria people, how their brains work. You know, this man, this is the old man, but the owner. This is the owner of just this ski resort. But look how they treat him like an emperor. These are the people of this little area, and he is their emperor. He is bringing money into this area. He is their emperor, and they treat him like an emperor. Look how they behave. He's a pop star.
Letzte Fahrt der Bahn heißt für mich auch ein kleiner Rückblick auf eine sehr, sehr, sehr bewegte Zeit fürs ganze Stubai.
This is the mayor of the town, and now he makes he is talking about the time of the beginning of this all this, and in this time they were criticizing this emperor, what he is doing. Maybe he will not have success, and now they are behaving, oh, we were so wrong.
Im Besonderen natürlich für Neustift. In den Anfangsjahren und in den Anfangsbestrebungen, die Bahn zu bauen, hat es auch sehr viele, auch zynische Kritiker gegeben in Neustift.
This was this guy when he was young.
Stimmt, die gesagt haben, wie, was will der in den Graben drinnen, der wird sich anschauen, da werden einmal 3, 4 Lawinen runtergehen, dann ist die Straße gesperrt.
Lange, noch vor meiner Zeit als Obmann des Tourismusverbandes Stubai, führte ich als Bergführer mehr als 700 Mal die Gäste auf das Zuckerhüttel, und immer fuhren wir mit der Eisgrabbahn nach oben, um den höchsten Berg der Stubaier Alpen in einem Tag zu schaffen.
Okay, this is the old guy. He was responsible in the time of Duncan MacPherson for this stuff. This is the new guy. He is the millionaire. They all are the millionaires today, and they have to pay to the family of Duncan MacPherson. Because it was a cover-up. And you see, these guys, they knew that what was going on there. The worker who did this, of course he informed them, and they know their machines and what can happen on their tracks, and so they knew. Okay, back to them. This guy has to pay. This is a young millionaire. This guy is sitting at home, dreaming in his chair. This guy is the guy responsible for family of Duncan MacPherson. Okay. So let's look. What is his name? I forgot it. Maybe we find his name somewhere. Okay, here is the address. Not name here. I really forgot it. In the moment I have forgot it, the name. I just stop it and look and come back. Okay, I found them. This is the old guy, Dr. Heinrich Clear, and this is the young guy, Magister Reinhard Clear. So these are the guys responsible for this case. Magister Reinhard Clear.